Alright, so we have some brand new developer notes for Solo Leveling Rise. These have just dropped, probably just like not even an hour ago, so we got a load of stuff to go through, so let's get into it. So pretty much, yeah, they're introducing themselves, and they said, since the start of our early access last month, our team has been running towards an even more significant mission, the Grand Update, which I imagine is talking about the actual full release of the game. And then in this developer note, we would like to share some finalized matters after consideration for improvement and provide a sneak peek at some of the upcoming updates. Alright, let's go! Alright, so we have Arise feedback. So during the early access period, many hunters provided diverse and fantastic feedback on maximizing the fun of various combat styles. We have promptly addressed feedback that could be quickly implemented through development, while improvements for other feedback are still in progress. Okay, and we got a list of some of the things right here. So the gold cost for artifact replacement will be reduced based on the enhancement tier. Oh my god. Okay, they are doing it, thank god. Right, unfortunately they're not just removing it, at least it's a reduction, so we'll take it. Obviously it does depend on how much it's going to be, but we'll definitely take it for sure. And then gold repeat rewards for gate missions will be increased, so yeah, basically whenever you defeat gates, we'll get more gold for that now as well, which is amazing. And they're considering lowering the difficulty of accomplishing certain events. Thank yes, okay, this is so nice. As I believe what they're talking about are these kinds of events right here, like the Dungeon Exploration Challenge, where you've got to get a certain amount of points in order to complete the event. However, pretty much a lot of the time, it's very difficult, I think actually impossible for some of them to actually be completed, unless if you actually spend like your premium currency to get more stamina and stuff like that. And this was a pretty big issue, as it meant you couldn't really get some of the very high value rewards, like the precision designs, as well as the skill level 3 scrolls as well for hunters and stuff like that, which is what I believe they mean by this. So overall, that is really, really good. And then reflecting the feedback from many hunters, we have decreased the artifact removal cost and increased the sources of gold acquisition. So yeah, very nice stuff. And then through this measure, we hope hunters can combine various artifact stats and experience diverse action gameplay. Thank you to all the hunters who have provided feedback. Yeah, cool. I mean, that was the biggest problem with artifacts, as it felt like you didn't really have a choice in being able to experiment and test different artifacts, so hopefully with that reduction, it should be a bit better. And then faction of the shield skill level up, so this is to do with their sort of like anti-cheat and banning cheaters, I believe. So it says we have activated the faction of the shield since the start of early access last month. And then furthermore, we have leveled up the faction of the shield to investigate malicious activities, impose sanctions, and take measures to delete the rankings of detected fraudulent registrations. Alright, so next up we have the Winds of Change, which says, first of all, thank you again for enjoying Solo Leveling Arise during the early access period. Now we will introduce the complete development of the major updates mentioned in the previous developer notes, very nice, as well as the various contents that our team will introduce in the future. So we have diversity, which says our team hopes that hunters would enjoy diverse gameplay through various combinations, sometimes through combinations of artifacts, sometimes through runes and blessing stones, or even combinations of different skills and weapons. However, after analysing the diverse play patterns of hunters during the past period, we found that various combinations were not being used as intended, and we are currently working on finding the causes and making improvements. So yeah, I imagine this is somewhat to do with skills and how, I guess, they want the skills and all that stuff to actually be used, and also I think it's more to do with other skills just not being used anywhere near as much as others. As for example, pretty much the two skills that I'm using the most pretty much all the time are multi-strike and also death dance. These are the two that I'm always using the most. And then when it comes to not wanting to deal break damage, what I'll use the most is then mutilate, as well as the commander's touch. And those four skills are pretty much the only ones I'll ever use, which means all of these ones right here, even though some of them I do actually have at higher levels, I'm just still not using because I don't really feel like I need to use them, as a lot of these other skills just do a perfectly good job anyway, so, and are just generally better in my opinion. So hopefully this means some will get buffs, which would be pretty cool, which is always really nice to see, and hopefully maybe we can get some runes and stuff for our skills a lot easier, hopefully, but we'll see in the future. So we have Sung Jin Woo exclusive weapons. So the Demon King's Longsword is a powerful yet hard to obtain S-rank item in the original story, but its power does not seem to be activated properly in-game. Yeah, this is basically to do with its counter-attack, which I think people aren't probably using properly, and are just using it, the skill just to do damage anyway. And then they say, therefore, the damage will be adjusted upward based on its advancement tier. Okay, very nice. So pretty much the more dupes, the more damage you'll get. Very nice. And then the critical hit rate of Orc's Broadsword will be adjusted upwards based on its advancement tier. Okay, nice. The damage of Rock Golem Hammer, which is a free weapon, will be adjusted based on its advancement tier. Nice. The shield and damage of Night Killer will be adjusted upwards based on its advancement tier. Very very nice. And then the damage of West Wind will be reduced, and only 1 stack is possible per skill. No, 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 no. And then when the first target of West Wind is hit with a critical hit, the cooldown decreases. So if you don't know what West Wind is, it's this SR sniper right here, and this weapon is insane. I haven't loved it up or used it myself yet, but from what I've seen from other people using it, it's a huge amount of damage this weapon can do. And yeah, unfortunately, I think it's talking about this West Wind buff right here, which can normally stack up to 5 times, but instead I think they're only going to make it stack up to 1 time, which is unfortunate. So yeah, unfortunately they're nerfing this, but they are buffing weapons like Night Killer, which is probably one of the worst weapons in the game, unfortunately. So, I mean, it's always good, I guess, that this weapon's getting a buff, but unfortunately West Wind is getting a nerf, so I feel like some people aren't going to be very happy with that, but as long as it's still good, then I'm sure it'll be fine. So then this sort of line here where you get the cooldown decrease, it is also just on the final passive anyway, so I don't know if they're just changing it just to do this anyway. Who knows? Well, I guess we'll have to find out and see. And then we have Hunter stats, which says fix the issue where only 2 Phantom Foxes were summoned in certain circumstances upon reaching advancement tier 1 with Lee Bora, so it's just a bug. And then fix the issue where Wu Jinchu's super armor was not applied. Okay, another bug. Fix, which is always nice. Increase the damage of Han Songyi's retrieve skill. And basically, Songyi is just a hunter in the game, and what she does is basically she puts down these things called umbral weapons on the floor, and then basically she'll use this retrieve skill, which then she like retrieves all the weapons to her, and then they will hit the enemies and then do damage. So this will hopefully do a lot more damage, so hopefully she'll be pretty good. And finally, fix the issue where mana consumption increased abnormally upon reaching advancement tier 1 with Song Chiel. Yeah, I haven't used Chiel, to be honest. I want to, so I wouldn't really know. But yeah, overall, not too bad stuff. Unfortunately, West Wind is getting nerfed, so unfortunately, but oh well. Alright, so then we have certain stats. So they are fixing the issue, or have fixed the issue, where the critical damage stat Delta Magic Beast was applied less than intended. So I wonder if this is actually going to change how people are going to start building Jinwoo, because with Jinwoo, like, I feel like a lot of people have just been building around precision, well, a little bit of precision and then everything in attack, so maybe the crit damage and stuff might be a bit better now, so we'll have to wait and see for that. So hopefully a lot of characters that want the crit set and stuff like that are going to hopefully get a pretty sizable buff, so that should be pretty good. So Sung Jinwoo has overcome numerous hardships and trials against adversaries like the Arachnid, Dongsuk, Kang Taeshik, and also Igris. And then in the upcoming update, the addition of a new story will introduce the appearance of the almighty shaman Kargalgan, yeah, whatever, I don't know how to say that, and unexpected twists and turns in the adventure. Very nice. So yeah, we knew this was going to come pretty much by the way they've been promoting the release of the game, so I think based on what the roadmap was, I think we're actually a bit ahead, which is really nice. Alright, then we have the Hunter's Runway, which basically says our team hopes that battles with various hunters would offer a different kind of excitement from Sung Jinwoo's battles. Fortunately, it seems that hunters are enjoying quite interesting battles through various combinations. In particular, we were pleased to know that we could provide different combat gameplay experiences by observing hunters challenging dungeons like the Gatekeeper of Hell Cerberus and the runaway giant arachnid with different combinations. To provide another layer of enjoyment in hunter combination battles, we are preparing a system with various costumes for hunters actively participating in raids and making the dungeon feel like a runway. Yeah, I mean, I can't lie, it's probably about time we are going to get costumes for hunters, as pretty much there's an achievement in the game which says obtain a certain amount of costumes, and if you look at all the tiers for all of the costumes, it goes all the way down to up to 100 costumes that you can get. So yeah, I think if they weren't going to add hunter costumes and only give it to Jinwoo, then yeah, that would have been pretty weird, because then this achievement would just be impossible to get. Alright, so then we have the next step, which says while Sung Jinwoo experienced a job change to the Monarch of Shadows only once in the original work, our team wants to express that Sung Jinwoo is continuously growing. Through the change job system, feedback on growth is provided through milestones to expand the combat experience. And then with the upcoming update, Sung Jinwoo will be able to achieve a job change beyond the Monarch of Shadows, and hunters will be able to experience a more diverse skills along with a unique costume based on the new changed job. So overall, I think this is actually a fantastic thing, as pretty much once you got to this point where you were able to get the Monarch of Shadows, because you got Necromancer and Monarch of Shadows pretty much within the same sort of time frame, so it just meant this sort of mechanic of the game just was kind of pointless, apart from the fact that you could re-enter them and re-challenge the stages for the job change quests. So overall, should be really good, because I really like the system of being able to change your job and gain benefits through it, so it's really, really nice, and it's a good way of being able to feel that you've you've really progressed as Jinwoo, and then you've gotten a lot stronger. And then next we have fragments of the stories. I think this is going to be to do with the Hunter archive, which says, in addition to the stories of Kang Tae-shik, who causes mysterious accidents, and the B-rank healer Lee Joo-hee, who is afraid of magic beasts, new Hunter's stories await you. So yeah, this is just talking about the Hunter archive and basically saying they're going to add more, and pretty much we can see that the next one is going to be Jinwoo, so yeah, well, that'll be nice. And then we have Power of Destruction, which says the boss of Power of Destruction uses various lethal moves depending on their phase transition. Sometimes he raises his right hand and strikes hard, and sometimes sweeps the floor going berserk. The key to the Power of Destruction is to repeatedly enjoy the pleasure of intuitive numerical growth through the cycle of growth, numerical verification, reward acquisition, and then growth. However, we have determined that improvements to the current mechanism are necessary to provide above mentioned enjoyment, and we are considering various improvements. And then more details will be revealed in the upcoming updates details notice. So yeah, that seems to that's going to improve the Power of Destruction boss, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy to say, depending on how much they will change it, so we'll have to wait and see. Then we have No Secrets, new Hunter arrival. Cha-Hain will join the Gate Raid. So yeah, pretty much right there, confirmed that Cha-Hain will be the very next character in the game. Amazing stuff. This artwork looks fantastic, by the way. She looks so good. And then our team is focusing on the upcoming grand update. Through this update, we aim to excite the world and deliver amazing action never seen before. We appreciate your continued interest and participation in Solo Leveling Arise as we embark on this new journey. As a token of appreciation, HAE-IN has prepared a gift for our hunters, so check out the link below. So then we also have some community manager notes, which is basically just about a sort of daily login that will be starting on the 26th, where you'll be able to claim 100 essence stones every day. Very nice stuff, so always really good. And then this will last all it is basically a countdown for 12 days all the way up until the grand launch of Solo Leveling Arise, which will be really good. And all you've got to do is just log into the game, and then you can claim all the rewards. So overall, pretty positive stuff as always with these kind of developer notes. Netmarble seem to be doing a pretty good job so far, and listening relatively well so far. But I guess we can only wait and see for when the game is actually going to drop. But overall, yeah, pretty good stuff. Unfortunately, Westwind is getting nerfed. I think it's the Westwind buff, not necessarily the rest of the Westwind stuff, which is it is what it is. So we'll have to wait and see if it's still like really good or not. But yeah, overall, if you enjoyed this video or you found it useful, helpful, just in general, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps a ton. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.